Welcome to your Magnetic Purpose podcast, where human design meets astrology and tarot. I'm your host, Ashley Hood. Get ready to explore, evolve, and embrace your fullest potential. Welcome to a journey of self-discovery like no other. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Ashley. Welcome back to your Magnetic Purpose podcast. So, human design is the science of differentiation. This is what hooked me when I first discovered human design. I was like, well, I want to know what makes me different. I think most people do. And while I was studying human design and going really deep into it, I was also taking courses on astrology and tarot. And I started to realize how all of these things were really interconnected. And the 1-3 generator in me finally was like, oh, I get it. All these together made it so much more easy and practical to understand and to share and express the experience I was having with it. Enter your Magnetic Purpose podcast. This was really how it was created and birthed, because I just felt like the people needed to know about how these three systems can all come together and really give you a rich understanding of your unique path and purpose, but also how to implement it in the real world. So I thought that I would kick this series off with speaking about the Manifestor in human design. The Manifestor is the initiator, so what better one to start with? So in human design, there's 5 main energy types, and these are the categories of people and how they are meant to live out their purpose with their energetic field around them or their aura. With the Manifestor being the great initiators, they are really here to be bold, to be leaders, to be present, and kick things off and get it going. They're the trailblazers, they're the innovators, they're really bold, and they can sometimes be brash. Historically speaking, Manifestors were actually the kings and the queens because they wanted to lead the land and not have any of their freedom compromised. Fast forward to modern time, this is completely the definition of a Manifestor. When a Manifestor is following their strategy and authority, which is following these creative urges that come up, they are quite literally unstoppable. But they just have to make sure that they're balancing following their creative urges with rest, because it's in the rest that they get their divine downloads, their inspiration, their understanding, and their motivatives for what they're going to do next and what they're going to carry out next. So human design Manifestors have this unique ability, unlike any of the other energy types in human design, to be able to, within themselves, initiate action and have a creative spark. Once this creative spark or these urges come through them, they're meant to carry them out and see them and start them and see them until fruition. But after they see and start to where they feel comfortable with, they're meant to pass the ball and move on to something next. They're very, very fast-paced, really quick movers. I like to think of Manifestors kind of like in football. The Manifestor would be the quarterback, and they are setting up the play, and then they're passing the ball, which is their great idea, and then they're out of there and they're on to the next thing while the rest of the team carries out that mission. So with a Manifestor, strategy and authority, they're really meant to have these urges and these innovations that they are supposed to act upon. They don't have to wait for invitations or something to respond to or a lunar cycle like the other energy types. They're really able to create their own destiny and have their own energy plane within. And once they do start to realize these urges that are coming through and their creative spark and their really great ideas, they are meant to inform. And when I say inform, I don't mean like ask permission from anybody, because a Manifestor is never going to ask anybody for permission. They don't need to. I mean more so using this informing as a way of leadership. You are meant to share your good ideas with those who are around you so that the right people can jump on board with you or they can get out of your way. Because the wrong people will be left in the dust and the right people are going to come along and help you be able to bring this to the end and move on to your next big idea. They say that the manifestor has a repelling aura, and an aura, again, is just your energetic field that people feel when they meet you. It's when you walk into a room as a generator, people feel that warm, inviting hug. When you walk into the room as a projector, people feel that pinpointed stare, like someone's been watching them for a while. But when you're a manifestor, it's said that your aura is repelling. And I don't find this to be the kindest way to explain it. I find it more as being very selective and defensive. It also is like someone walking around with a do not disturb sign. If you are here to inform and get the right people on your team, the wrong people are going to fall off, but it's the wrong people who will be triggered by your aura or by your presence. Because being as powerful as a manifestor is, and being able to have all the tools inside to literally create their own destiny or bring their manifestations to fruition, for some people that can be intimidating because they might not have the ability or the belief in themselves that they can do that. So then it can turn into acts of jealousy or just feeling like maybe they were left behind, or really just trying to slow down the manifestor. So that's why it's so important that you are informing what you're doing so that the right people can come along. And when I say that it's like having a do not disturb sign, if you've ever seen a manifestor in action, when they're having these creative urges, they can be really intense and really in it because they are like 10 steps ahead of everybody else and they're already creating. So that energy can be really inspiring, or for the wrong people, it can be really intimidating. So that's why it's important to inform so that you can have the right people on your side. If you do have the wrong people on your side, you're going to feel a creative block. And for a manifestor, that is going to feel like anger, a really deep-seated anger. So you'll always know that you are on the wrong path or off of your path if you feel that deep sense of anger. You might need to circle back, have some conversations with some people, or maybe tie up some loose ends to break yourself from that energetic block so you can carry on. A manifestor's highest self is when they are at peace. So if you feel that deep sense of peace within, that means that you are on the right path, you are fully aligned. It is a huge green light from the universe to carry on. So when we bring it all together as a manifestor, you are here to inform your big ideas and act on all of your great ideas. You are here to be a trailblazer and a leader. You will know that you're on the right path when you're feeling that great sense of inner peace. And if you're feeling anger, you know that you need to circle back and have some conversations. It's really important that you follow your energetic rhythm of initiating, carrying on, doing your big idea, and then resting. Because if you don't take that time to rest, you're never going to get that big idea that can really move the mark and leave an impact like a manifestor is supposed to. So when I think about the manifestor and how magical they are and how much they can create and bring to life just by merely acting on their creative spark, it makes me think of their counterpart in tarot, the Magician. So the Magician card is the first card in the major arcana, and just like the manifestor, it is the initiator. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith-Coleman deck, you will see the Magician standing at a table, and this table is often referred to as the field of intention. The Magician is surrounded by the 4 suits from the tarot, and it has one hand pointed to the sky and the other pointed to the ground. And this is to represent as above, so below. It means that the Magician is a divine channel that can pull this great wisdom from the heavens and bring it down into the physical plane. The Magician is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury rules Gemini. Gemini is actually the symbol means to bridge heaven and earth. So it's the same thing. It's bringing that great inner knowing from up above, that divine wisdom, and bringing it down onto the physical plane. The Magician card also has some roses around it that shows all of the beauty that the Magician is capable of creating. and an infinity symbol above its head that represents the fact that what is meant for you will always come to you. So all of this imagery on the card is to represent the fact that the magician is here to master the material plane with all of its magic it already has inside of it, just like the manifestor. Now, I had said that the magician is tied to Mercury. Mercury is the planet of communication, intellect, quick wit, fast thinking, and when it's in its highest expression, it really is all about having that ability to manifest and speak out your greatest desires. When it's in its lowest expression, it's a trickster. It's here to be a little bit mischievous. It will be flaky. It can seem indecisive and a little bit two-faced. It's also connected, the magician's also connected to the planet Mars. Mars is the ruler of creativity and of war and of ambition and of power. So when the Mars is in its highest expression, it is the most creative, willful, fast-paced moving planet. When it's in its lowest expression, it's here to start a war. And this war can be with someone outside of you, or it can be deep inside of you. So that's why you always have to be careful with Mars, and that you are speaking your intentions properly with Mercury to ensure that your point is getting across correctly and that you're not actually holding back and hurting people and being a little bit of a trickster like the lower expression of a manifestor can be. So now you can start to see how all of these things are really interconnected and they play together. I could talk for hours about how any one of the tarot cards can be matched up with something in human design, but maybe that will come in a later episode. But for now, if you are a manifestor or a manifesting generator, because don't forget, you are a hybrid of a manifestor and a generator, so this applies to you too. Or you just want to harness your manifestor magician energy to create a little magic in your life, I have a ritual for you. This is best done on a Sunday, because a Sunday is the day of the sun, and it is all about initiating what you want to see for the week ahead. You're going to want to grab the 4 elements. So you can get a candle, a feather, either a crystal or a coin, and a cup of water. And you now have all the 4 elements that are in the suit of the tarot. You're going to want to light the candle. And while you do, you want to sit and you want to think about what it feels like to be a magician in your life and to have that strong, willful energy that the manifestor possesses. Really take time to reflect on it. It's a great idea to just have a soft gaze on the candle as well once you've lit it, because this helps to kind of give a meditative state to your body so that you can clear out all the mind chatter, and then you can start to receive some of those manifestor downloads. So once you've had some time to sit there, gentle gaze on the candle, asking the 4 elements around you to help with your magic, your creativity, help you to understand on a deeper level what you're trying to initiate. Then, before you blow out the candle, you're going to want to say, "And then I receive." Once you do that, and the candle is blown out, imagine that now being passed off into the universe, and just wait to see what happens. You can start journaling on this practice and seeing the little intricacies that are happening throughout your day now, and how all of this can be connected to your manifestation. So I really hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I'm going to start going a little bit deeper with episodes like this as we move through the next 4 energy types. So if you want to know more about this, head over to our website, Your Magnetic Purpose, and you can download your free chart there. You can also book a live one-on-one reading with me, or you can shoot me a DM and we can customize a reading for you. And until next time, here's to health, wellness, and weirdness. Bye. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to like, share, and subscribe wherever you stream your podcast. For more resources and tools to explore human design, tarot, and astrology, head over to yourmagneticpurpose.com and book a live one-on-one reading or download your free chart. Remember, The more that you align with your purpose, the more opportunities you attract.